Gymnastics is a tough and dangerous sport. When I first wrote my memoir, my goal was to inspire younger gymnasts not to give up, to keep going no matter what happens. But then I realized two things. One is that it's easier to inspire someone when they can see and hear the story so that they can feel the passion. Two is that I did not only want to inspire young gymnasts, I wanted to inspire all athletes and non-athletes as well. I want everyone to see and hear my struggles so that they can feel what it is to dig deep down inside of themselves and push hard to overcome any obstacle that they may come across. So, let me tell you my story. It all started on April 1st. I was practicing my skills and getting ready for regional championships, which was 1 week away. If I did well at regionals, I could qualify to nationals, which was 1 month after that. At nationals, I could make the national team, which is top 14. I was working on my Tkachev, which is a release scale on high bar. I hit the bar with my finger and fell into the pit. At first it didn't hurt, but then I looked at my finger and it was discombobulated. I went to my coach and gave him my hand so he could pop my finger back into place. I was so scared while everyone was circling around me looking at my broken finger. My coach popped my finger back in and it started to hurt and swell up. Then he said to me, "Go to the doctor, see if I popped it in back right." I was confused because he was supposed to have popped it back in right. I went to the doctor's and he told me that my finger was fractured and that it would take 6 to 8 weeks to heal. I was devastated because that meant I couldn't compete at regionals or nationals. So I went back to the gym to tell my coach the bad news. At first, he didn't believe me. He thought it was an April Fool's joke. After a while, he realized that I was serious. Then we looked up different ways to heal my finger faster. The best option we found was laser therapy. I did laser therapy 3 times a week, but I also did everything that I could to try and heal it faster. After a while, my finger started to feel a little bit better, so I went back to the doctor's and he said that it was healing very quickly, but it still wasn't fully recovered. Since it was recovering quickly, my coach put in a petition so I could compete at nationals. So I started to work out again, and I worked hard so I could make the national team, but I was still scared of the high bar. I went to Knoxville, Tennessee to compete at nationals, which was a 2-day competition. On the first day of competition, I started on floor. I did well on 5 events, and the last event was high bar. I was warming up the Tkachev on high bar 3 times, and all of them were good. Now it was time for me to compete. I saluted to the judge and began my routine. I go for the Tkachev and miss the bar and fall on the floor. I had to get back up on the bar and finish my routine. The rest of my routine after I fell was pretty good, but since I fell, I got a low score. After the first day of competition, I was in 22nd place. I was devastated. I started crying my eyes out for hours because I thought I had no chance of coming back and making the national team. But I had my best friend and my dad talk to me and convinced me to compete the second day. I had to dig deep and keep fighting because he said there was a slight chance that I could still make the national team. On the second day of competition, I started on high bar. I decided to take the Tkachev out of my routine. I made the routine and got a decent score. I went on to the other events and did amazing. It was probably one of the best competitions of my life. After all the scores were added up for the 2 days combined, I came in 13th place. I did it! I overcame the fear of the high bar. I healed faster than the doctor expected and dug deep to compete better the second day to finally make national team and achieve my goal. Gymnastics, like any other sport and anything else in life, comes with a lot of difficult obstacles. It is easier to use those same obstacles as an excuse to give up and explain why you could not achieve your goals. Just because you may break a bone does not mean that your determination to accomplish your goal is broken. If your spirit is strong, you can endure any pain and overcome any obstacle. Through the examples you see in sports or in others, you will develop an understanding and an attitude that you cannot give up because it is a difficult road ahead. You can establish a passion in both your mind and heart that you do not need to give up, no matter what.